So let's talk about the Colombia national team because it's been a minute since I've seen Colombia play at the World Cup. That's right. So let's talk about it because as you guys know, Colombia, they are one of the footballing nations that always has a special place in my heart, especially for international football, because obviously when it comes to South American football, the three main dominant nations have always been Brazil, Argentina, or Uruguay. But if there is one nation that I think deserves to be in the same recognition as those footballing nations that I've mentioned, it would have to be Colombia, because as you people know, the Colombia national team, you guys might remember, they used to be a really good team, I guess you could say, in the 90s before the tragic, senseless killing of Andres Escobar, because obviously, I guess you could say that tragedy or the incident is a big reason why I have a special place in my heart for Colombia, for the Colombia national team, because in my opinion, the saddest footballing story, the saddest football player death will always be, I would have to say, probably the killing of Andres Escobar. Like, at times, it still haunts me too, not gonna lie, because Andres Escobar, he's definitely a Colombian footballing legend, especially after he had his life just unfairly cut short, all because he scored an own goal against the US at the 1994 World Cup and all that. Like, for a football player to lose his life because he made one mistake on the football pitch is just absolutely ridiculous. And to this day, I could still never for the life of me understand how a football player can just have their life cut short all because they made one mistake at a tournament. It's like, football players, let's be honest, you know, when it comes to criticizing football players on the pitch for their performance, one thing we gotta realize at the end of the day is that football players, they are human too, and that's somebody's family member too at the end of the day. And I can't imagine how painful it must have been for Andres Escobar's relatives just to, you know, deal with one of their relatives just, you know, sadly having their life cut short all because he scored an own goal. Like, that's just absolutely ridiculous. And I guess you could say that's the thing that's really put a big, I guess you could say, stain on the image of the Colombia national team, because it seems like that after that own goal, the Colombia football team would never be the same again until 1994. Well, granted, I mean, I'm talking about World Cups and all, because I think they won the 2001 Copa America, if I believe. And, you know, and when it comes to the previous footballing legends, the Colombian footballing legends I mentioned, like Andres Escobar, Carlos Valderrama, Rene Higuita, can't forget about his brilliant scorpion kick save, and there's also Ivan Cordoba as well. So Colombia, they also have a lot of great footballing legends too. So if I've missed out on any other Colombian footballing legends, please let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, so after the 1994 World Cup, it wouldn't be until 2014, and when Colombia made their mark at the 2014 World Cup, they, without a doubt, in my opinion, were World Cup contenders. Much like 2018, I think Colombia were also World Cup contenders, because 2014, they were absolutely brilliant. James Rodriguez, the most underrated player in that tournament, and we got to talk about James Rodriguez too, because ever since he left Bayern, it just feels like that James Rodriguez, his form has really dipped, which really sucks, because James Rodriguez, he was super exciting to watch, especially when he came to Real Madrid after the 2014 World Cup. Like, over there, James Rodriguez, he was just an absolute baller at Real Madrid, especially the duo he formed with Cristiano Ronaldo was just something special. And, you know, at the 2014 World Cup, Colombia, obviously they lost to Brazil 2-1 when David Luiz scored one of the best free kick goals I've ever seen at a World Cup. And of course, that game wasn't without controversy, because obviously Neymar, he got injured and all that. And then 2018 World Cup, Colombia, another tournaments where they absolutely balled out, you know, up until they lost that penalty shootout to England. So looking at the Colombia national team, I think you can say here that right now, as of me recording this video, Colombia, they failed to make it to the 2022 World Cup because they failed to qualify by 1 point for the Interconfederation playoffs, which is insane. If you guys hear that, that's just a garbage truck outside of my house and all that. But yeah, man, right now, I don't know if when Colombia will be a good team again, because I feel like that Colombia's current golden generation has kind of been in decline. All the players they had, like James Rodriguez and especially Cuadrado, I guess you could say that they are getting up there in age too, and who knows whether Colombia can be a good team again. Like, let me know, what do you guys think the future of Colombian football looks like? I'm curious. If you're a Colombian football fan, let me know. What would you say is the future of Colombian football? So that's pretty much the video here. I pretty much already said what I wanted to say here. But yeah, just ever since the 2018 World Cup, that penalty loss to England, it feels like Colombia have never really been the same footballing team since. So yeah, that's the video. See ya.